after getting that rank, they are like again into the pool of struggle of getting the job or work and etc. So somehow the struggle is unending. So it's very flickering. And one example is of money, if you permit.
I think.
Okay, okay.
Tell.
So one example is of
once.
money, Prabhuji. If somebody has huge amounts of money, so it is not guaranteed that he will be able to enjoy it. Sometimes he might
You're not audible. Okay, I think we will go for next. Yeah, I think once Radhanand Maharaj told, like, no, material enjoyment means is what is there between consecutive sufferings. Okay. Yes, Shrikant Pro, you can tell. Okay, he is also not there.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, bro. Like couple of examples. One was about the office while we are working. Uh, Everyone works very hard with the anticipation that they'll get promoted. So the happiness of that promotion is only in that anticipation that I'll get promoted. I'll get promoted. The moment you get promoted, immediately there is the pressure of more responsibilities, more work, then sustaining there and again getting promoted. So that is also flickering in. Second example was about, like, I like to eat sweet. So how much can we eat, right? So one is about it is a material enjoyment is very flickering because how many can we eat? But spiritual enjoyment is unlimited because to serve the prasadam or to distribute to others, there is no limit. You can distribute as much as you want, but you cannot eat.
Yes. Yeah, correct. Thank you. Very nice point. Okay. Now for the second one, give some examples of how spiritual enjoyment is limited. Okay. You shared one thing, but okay, Yashraj Bro, you can tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, in the spiritual enjoyment, so we can see that, for example, it's my personal opinion. So when I generally I have a very working in during the working I cannot come to the temple but whenever I come to the Sunday or any festival, so I noticed that this is my personal opinion. When I saw the Radha Vrindavan or Radha Kunj Bihari, so I think he is more beautiful than the previous Sunday or the last Sunday or the last festival. So, so this is my personal observation, and I notice every time, Prabhuji. And the second thing, whenever we read some scripture like Bhagavad Gita, so again, this is my personal opinion. So I read some shloka or something. So I thought, okay, I never thought like this means I connected with my life, and I thought, okay, this is another meaning, and I can connect it with shloka.
Okay.
So
Yes.
so it's a ever increasing actually, Prabhuji.
Yeah, the knowledge is always fresh. Very good. Thank you. The knowledge is dynamic. And yes, Rahul Prabhu, can tell.
Prabhuji, like in general, what have also like experienced is that I've been traveling to a lot of different places before I began my Krishna consciousness journey. So it was like I've been to different places where I saw very different type of things and food and everything. But the moment when we come back home and we are engaged back to our normal work thing, work life or student life, so everything is like disappeared. We cannot release like what we did and how it was like very temporary. The moment we saw it, we enjoyed, and the moment we left it, the thing was gone. But since I had my first yatra when I came across the temple, and then since that time till now, every yatra that I have been going, it's not just about the place where I see and get the beautiful darshan of Lord. It's about attachment. Like whenever I come back, if I want, I can like imagine how beautiful the deities were, and then the I can like in different yatra I have different relations with the different devotees I meet. They teach something that like every time when I go in different yatra, I meet some different devotee from different places, and every one is there like someone who teaches us something very new, which we can apply in our bhakti and then think very in a different. And even when I saw the movie, like the Mahavatar Narasimha movie, which was released recently, so even in that movie, it was like Prahlad Maharaj was given so many tortures by his own father, but there were so many points where Prahlad Maharaj implied that this body is temporary, my relationship with my father is temporary, and everything is temporary. What permanent is my relationship with Lord Vishnu, and it can also be taken like how he was spiritually enjoying every time, even though materially he was being suffering.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Very nice. Yes, like devotees go to the same place, same Vrindavan, same temples, but the experience is always different and is always better over time, if provided one is practicing sincerely and seriously. So that is always there. And yeah, we see different many acharyas and all. They just settled in the same place, doing the same thing, but different. They're getting newer experiences and newer relation of the spiritual happiness. Okay, thank you. Yes, bro, we can continue.
In the primary stage of child loves his parents, then his brothers and sisters, and as he daily grow up, he began to love his family, society, community, country, nation, or even the whole human society. But the loving propensity is not satisfied even by loving all human society. That loving propensity remains imperfectly fulfilled until we know who is the supreme beloved. Our love can be fully satisfied only when it is reposed in Krishna. This hymn is the sum and substance of the nectar of devotion, which teaches us how to love Krishna in five different transcendental mellows. Our loving propensity expands just as a vibration of light or air expands, but we do not know where it ends. The nectar of devotion teaches us the science of loving every one of the living entities perfectly by the easy method of loving Krishna. We have failed to create peace and harmony in human society, even by such great attempts as the United Nations, because we do not know the right method. The method is very simple, but one has to understand it with a cool head. The nectar of devotion teaches all men how to perform the simple and natural method of loving Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. If we learn how to love Krishna, then it is very easy to immediately and simultaneously love every living being. It is like pouring water on the root of a tree or supplying food to one's stomach. The method of pouring water on the root of a tree or supplying foodstuff to the stomach is universally scientific and practical. As every one of us has experienced, everyone know well that when we eat something, or in other words, when we put foodstuff in the stomach, the energy created by such action is immediately distributed throughout the whole body. Similarly, when we pour water on the root, the energy thus created is immediately distributed throughout the entirety of even the largest leaf. It is possible to water
It
the
is not
tree part
possible.
by it is not possible to water the tree part by part, nor it is possible to feed the different part of the body separately. The nectar of devotion will teach us how to turn the one switch that will immediately brighten everything, everywhere. One who does not know this method is missing the point of life.
Yeah, just a minute. So here Prabhupada is explaining the formula for having harmony and peace in the world. So uh, like uh, we studied in Bhagavad Gita, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamai Pashyati. One who sees Krishna everywhere sees everything in Krishna and everyone in Krishna. So if one loves Krishna, then one will automatically love everyone. And when Krishna becomes center of everyone's life, then there will be peace and harmony in the world. Otherwise, there are so many wars, so many trade wars, economic wars, military wars, all this. So, because everyone has different interest. So when everyone's interest the center in Krishna, then everyone can be peaceful. So the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam concept Prabhupada is saying. And yes, continue. As far as material necessities.
As far as material necessities are concerned, the human civilization at the present moment is very much advanced in living comfortably. But still, we are not happy because we are missing the point. The material comforts of life alone are not sufficient to make us happy. The vivid example is America, the richest nation of the world, having all facilities for material comforts, is producing a class of men completely confused and frustrated in life. I am appealing herewith to such confused men to learn the art of devotional service as directed in the Nectar of Devotion, and I'm so sure that the fire of material existence burning within their heart will be immediately extinguished. The root cause of our dissatisfaction is that our dormant loving propensity has not been fulfilled despite our great advancement in the materialistic way of living. The nectar of devotion will give us practical hints how we can live in this material world perfectly, engaged in devotional service, and thus fulfill all our desires in this life and the next. The nectar of devotion is not presented to condemn any way of materialistic life, but the attempt is to give information and religiousness,
Philosophers.
and people in general how to love Krishna. One may live without material discomfiture, but at the same time, he should learn the art of loving Krishna. At present, at the present moment, we are investing so many ways to utilize our propensity to love, but factually, we are missing the real point, Krishna. We are watering all the part of the tree, but missing the tree's root. We are trying to keep our body fit by all means, but we are neglecting to supply foodstuff to the stomach. Missing Krishna means missing oneself also. Real self realization and realization of Krishna go together simultaneously. For example, seeing oneself in the morning means seeing the sunrise also. Without seeing the sunshine, no one can see himself. Similarly, unless one has realized Krishna, there is no question of self realization.
Okay, yeah. So, yes, the main problem is our loving propensity is not properly fulfilled because it is directed to country, family, all. These are all temporary. Uh, the need of the soul is to experience unlimited and eternal love. So that is not possible in material relationships and through material activities. So that is only possible in through the devotional service and in relationship with Krishna. So that is the point Prabhupada is making here. And also Prabhupada is saying that we will also realize self-realization as well as unless we realize Krishna, we have to realize Atma is not sufficient and we have to realize we are part of Krishna. So then that is actual self-realization. Okay, last paragraph.
The nectar of devotion is specifically presented for persons who are now engaged in Krishna consciousness movement. I beg to offer my sincere thanks to all my friends and disciples who are helping me to push forward the Krishna consciousness movement in the Western countries, and I have begged to acknowledge with thanks the contribution made by my beloved disciples, Shriman Jayanand Brahmachari. My thanks are dues as well to all the directors of SCON Press who have taken so much care in publishing this great literature. Hare Krishna. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. SCON headquartered Los Angeles, California.
Yeah. Okay, so now we completed the preface written by Prabhupada. Now in introduction, Prabhupada is summarizing the Mangala Charan written by Sri Rupa Goswami. So Mangalacharan, like proper, generally every book, it's a tradition to write an introduction. Uh, Now also, practically every book, they write introduction, especially non-fiction, but yeah, fiction books also sometimes. Uh, So Mangalacharan is the traditional introduction in the Vedic texts, scriptures, Vedic philosophical compilations, etc. So Mangalacharan has three elements. First is Namaskriya, then Vastu Nirdesha, and Falasi. So Namaskriya is they offer their salutations and prayers to the Lord and different devotees and all, sometimes even Mother Saraswati, like that. All these that is Namaskriya. Then Vastu Nirdesha. So what the book contains, that is specified in the introduction. And Falashi, like they give blessings or what are the benefits of reading the book. Like we chant the prayers before every Bhagavatam class, no? Narayanam Namaskritya Narancheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. So that is something like the Namaskriya, offering obeisances before reciting Bhagavatam. So then no Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu, that is Falashi, like no Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashti. So by reciting Bhagavatam, what happens? So that is. So now Sri Rupa Goswami is doing the same for this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, yes, you can read this, invoking auspiciousness.
Invoking auspiciousness. Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the reservoir of all rasas or relationships, which are called neutrality, passive adoration, servitorship, friendship, parenthood, conjugal love, comedy, compassion, fear,
Chivalry, chivalry,
yes,
ghastliness.
chivalry, vastiness, wonder, and devastation. He is the supreme attractive form, and by his universal and transcendental attractive features, he has captivated all the gopis, headed by
Parati,
Tarka
Taraka,
Palika,
Palika, yeah.
Taraka Palika, Syama, Lalita, and ultimately Srimati Radharani. Let his lordship grace be on us so that there may not be any hindrance in the execution of this duty of writing the nectar of devotion, impelled by his divine grace, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada.
Yeah. So, okay, I will show the verses of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also. We will sometimes refer the original verses, but not always. The first verse. Yeah, so this is the first verse. Akila Rasamritamurti Prasamra Ruchiruddha Taraka Pali Kalita Shama Lalito Radha Preyan Vidur Jayati. This is the first meaning. And the translation is Krishna, the destroyer of all sin and the bestower of all bliss, the very form of the highest bliss filled with all rasas, excels all others in glory. He brings Taraka and Palika under his control by the diffusion of his beauty. He accepts Shamala and Lalita as his equals and gives pleasure to Radha by his excellent qualities. So here Rupa Goswami is praying to Krishna for his blessings for writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Because Prabhupada is also adding that thing for seeking blessings of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So here Krishna is described as Akila Rasamrita Murti. Generally, in the beginning years or many of the times we see Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. as the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Controller, he's the maintainer, controller, and destroyer of everything, all that thing. And he's the Supreme Well-wisher also. Hmm. But as we spend time and we should get more attracted to the Krishna's conception as to seeing Krishna as the reservoir of all rasa. Is Akila Rasamrita Murti. Because bhakti is ultimately we are offering service to Krishna and we are experiencing rasa from Krishna. We are experiencing Krishna's love. We are offering our love to Krishna and we are experiencing Krishna's love. That is bhakti. So, Akhilar Samritamurti India is saying like Krishna is the source of the best love, best, highest, and the unlimited love. So how Krishna is the source of all best love? That this is one of the like no all different varieties of love. Krishna is the source. So this is a verse from Bhagavatam. Like it's a description of when Krishna is entering the Mathura. Mallanam naravaro strinam smaro murtiman gopanam swajano satam shitipujam stasva pitro shishu mrityurbhojapate virat avidusham tattam param yoginam Vishninam paradevate vidito gamgata sukraja. The various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, Veera Rasa. The men of Mathura as the best of males, Vishmaya Rasa. The women as Cupid in person, Madhura Rasa. The cowherd boys as their relative, Sakya Rasa or Hasya Rasa and Hasya Rasa. The impious rulers as a chastiser, Raudra Rasa. His parents as their child, Vatsalya Rasa or Karuna Rasa. The king of the Bhojas as death, Bhayanaka Rasa. The unintelligent as the Supreme Lord's universal form, Bhibhatsa Rasa. The yogis as the absolute truth, Shanta Rasa. And the Vrishnis as their supreme worshipable deity, Dasya Rasa. So different people are getting from same Krishna different rasas. So that is one of the justification of how Krishna is Akhilar Samritamurti. There are so many others like we'll refer as and when the commentaries on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu written by Sri Jiva Goswami, Durgama Sangamani, and of Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. But they have written very elaborately, and we cannot, given the time that is allotted, we cannot cover that. But some points we will take. So Jiva Goswami elaborately explains how Krishna is Akhilar Rasamrita Murti, 2-3 pages. So then this names of the gopis mentioned, Taraka and Palika. So as per Bhavishya Puran, among the many hundreds, thousands of gopis of Krishna, there are 10 chief gopis and each has their own group. So in that, Palika is one and she is more near to Chandravali. And Taraka is another gopi leader, she is a leader of gopis. She is a distant relative of Radharan. She's closer to Radharan. And then Prabhupada tells about Shyama and Lalita. So Shyama is a gopi who's in a friendly group, in a group friendly to Radharani. These are like middle level gopis. This Taraka and Palka, they are like highest gopis, like they are leaders of the groups of gopis. This Shyama are like the middle level leaders. And Lalita is, we know that she is the chief Sakhi of Radharan. This is according to Skanda Puran. The earlier one is according to from Bhavishya Puran. Then Radharani is the chief gopi of Krishna. Then finally, Rupa Goswami glorifies Krishna with relation to Radharani. Here, in this paragraph, Prabhupada is glorifying Rupa Goswami. Yeah, you can read. Let me offer my
respective into the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada and of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, by whose inspiration I have been engaged in the matter of compiling this summary study of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. This is the sublime science of devotional service as propounded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared 500 years ago in West Bengal, India, to propagate the movement of Krishna consciousness. Srila Rup Goswami began his great book by offering his respectful obeisances into the stream onto Sri Sanatan Goswami, who is his elder brother and spiritual master. And he prays that Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu may be very pleasing to him. He further prays that by residing in the ocean of nectar, Sri Sanatan Goswami may always feel transcendental pleasure in the service of Radha and Krishna. Let
Okay,
us
just a
offer.
minute. Still, okay, okay, that is there. Okay. Yeah, so he also offers respects to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, but okay, that Prabhupada is not mentioned. Then he's again offering again obeisances and prayers to Sanatan Goswami, his spiritual master and teacher. Yes, next, let us.
Let us offer our respectful obeisance to all the great devotees and acharyas, holy teachers, who are compared to sharks in the great ocean of nectar and who do not care for the various rivers of liberation. Impersonalists are very fond of merging into the supreme, like rivers that come down and merges into the ocean. The ocean can be compared to liberation and the river to all the different parts of liberation. The impersonalists are dwelling in the river water, which eventually come to mix with the ocean. They have no information, however, that within the ocean, as within the river, there are innumerable aquatic living entities. The shark who dwell in the ocean do not care for the rivers which are gliding down into it. The devotees eternally live in the ocean of devotional service and they do not care for the rivers. In other words, those who are pure devotee always remain in the ocean of transcendental loving service to the Lord and have no business with other processes which are compared to the rivers that only gradually come to the ocean.
Okay,
Srila Rupa
yes.
Goswami.
Yeah, just a minute. So the ocean, the Bhakti Rasa is compared to a huge ocean. The ocean that doesn't have any limit. And the devotees are compared to the sharks. Like sharks, they are mainly found in the ocean and they only stay in the ocean and that too deep. They don't go to the rivers. Like different rivers merge in the ocean, like Ganges merges in at Bay of Bengal, like that. Different places, different rivers merge. So the rivers are compared to the processes which give liberation, like the Jnana Yoga, like that. So uh, the sharks, they don't go to the rivers; they are happy in the ocean. So similarly, the devotees, they don't care for liberation, which will come. Moksha Lagata Krut. So one of the characteristics of pure devotion service that we will study. And yeah. And also like there are also like the Mayavadis, they give analogies like the river is merging into the ocean. Similarly, the Jiva merges with the Brahman. But still, though the merges, there are aquatic animals. Not everything of the river merges with the ocean. So that analogy also proper is refuting. Okay, next.
Srila Rupa Goswami prays to his spiritual master, Srila Sanatan Goswami, for the protection of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the ocean of the pure nectar of devotional service. From the argumentative logicians who unnecessarily meddle in the science of service to the Lord, he compares their arguments and logic to volcanic eruption in the midst of the ocean. In the midst of the ocean, volcanic eruption can be very little harm. And similarly, those who are against devotional service to the Lord and who put forward many philosophical these about the ultimate transcendental realization cannot disturb this great ocean of devotional service.
Yeah,
The
so
author of
just a minute. Yeah, so uh, like in the Vedic tradition, so one has to establish one's philosophy very soundly. I mean, on a very sound basis, on based of Shastra and through very proper arguments. So when they establish it with very proper arguments and all based on Shastra, then only the philosophy is considered authentic. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is one of the books where the Siddhanta of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So what is Gaudiya Vaishnavism? What is the process? What is the goal? All these are established. So Rupa Goswami is praying that, and there are other traditions, like other traditions they may uh, they should not they should not be able to find faults in the arguments which Rupa Goswami has given, and so that the process given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is no is safeguarded. So so they have put lot, like Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, they have put lot of effort in writing this book to ensure that there is logical correctness, there is authenticity and all, so that this book is the philosophy is very soundproof and all this. Okay, the author of Bhakti Samrit Sindhu.
The author of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Srila Rup Goswami, very humbly submits that he is just trying to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Although he humbly thinks himself unfit for this work, that should be the attitude of all preachers of the Krishna consciousness movement. Following in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami, we should never think of ourselves as great preachers, but should always consider that we are simply instrumental to the previous Acharya, and simply by following their footstep, we may be able to do something for the benefit of suffering humanity.
Yeah, so I'll tell. So here, I mean, Rupa Goswami calls himself as Varaka and also Agya in different verses. Show the verse. Next one. Sorry. So here he is calling himself, though I'm ignorant, I'm Agya. I'm Agyapi. So though such a scholar, he says like this. So, but Jiva Goswami, he gives another meaning of that word Agya in his commentary. This is expressed in this verse. He calls himself ignorant Agya out of humility. The other positive meaning of Agya, however, is with whom no wise man can compare. In that case, the word yeah. So this is one. And another one at in a before verse, while he was glorifying Sanatan Goswami and seeking his blessings, he puts himself in a very low position. So that again, Jiva Goswami again gives another meaning. He addresses himself as low, Varaka Rupa, out of humility. Saraswati, however, cannot tolerate that. Therefore, she produces another meaning. Vara also means the best. A combined with ka becomes akayati, which means boldly indicates. Therefore, Varaka stands for Varam Akayati. She praises him as the person who is clearly indicated as the best. So now, till now, Srila Rupa Goswami has did the Namaskriya, has sought blessings of different of Krishna, of his spiritual master Sri Rupa Goswami, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of all the Vaishnavas, and in different places, different things. Now, Rupa Goswami is coming to Vastu Nirdesha. So, what this book is consists of? Yes, you can read.
Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu is divided into 4 parts. Just as the ocean is sometimes divided into 4 parts, and there are different sections within each of these 4 divisions. Originally, in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the ocean is divided like the watery ocean in the east, south, west, and north, while the subsections within these different divisions are called waves. As in the ocean, there are always different waves, either on the eastern side, the southern side, the western side, or the northern side. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu similarly has different waves. In the first part, there are four waves, the first being a general description of devotional service. The second concerns the regulative principles for executing devotional service. And the third wave, devotional service in ecstasy. In the
Ecstasy.
fourth is the ultimate goal, love of God. These will be explicitly described along with their different symptoms.
So, so Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, so there are four divisions. So first is Eastern division. I mean, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is compared to an ocean. So ocean, it has four parts: Eastern part, Southern part, like that. So the Eastern division, it has the description of the Bhakti process. The Southern division contains describes the ingredients of rasa. So in rasa there are different things like sthayi bhava, anubhava, vibhava, all this. There are different terminologies. Of course, we will not discuss. That is not in our portion, but you can read further with the guidance of your senior devotees. Then the Western division, mukhya rasas. Mukhya rasas are the five principal rasas. So how those five principal rasas are exhibited by different devotees, by different associates of Krishna, all that is described. Then the northern division, where Gauna rasas. Gauna rasas are this, no, Bhibatya rasa, Hasya rasa, Adbhuta rasa, all these things. So the first is Bhakti in general. And again, this Eastern division, the description of Bhakti process, it's divided again in four parts. So the first wave, it is Bhakti in general. The Bhakti in general, where we'll study the definition of pure devotional service, then who is qualified to do devotional service, the characteristics of devotional service, all these things. Then the second wave, we study the sadhana bhakti, which is the first part of the pure devotional service. Then third, we study bhava bhakti, and fourth, prema bhakti. So we study what is that stage, what are the symptoms of that stage, and how one can progress to the next stage, all that things. Uh, should we take no time is there? Hmm. Okay, only one word we'll take. Others maybe we'll take later. Okay, the first is now this is the first wave. So starting with the definition of pure devotional service. Okay, read.
The authorized description of bhakti or devotional service following in the footsteps of previous acharyas can be summarized in the following statement by Srila Rup Goswami. First class devotional service is known by one's tendency to be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness, serving the Lord favorably. The purport is that one may also be in Krishna consciousness unfavorably, but that cannot be counted as pure devotional service. Pure devotional service should be free from the desire for any material benefit or for sense gratification, as these desires are cultivated through fruitive activities and philosophical speculation.
Okay. So yeah, this is the verse. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavrutam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama. So this is the definition of uttama bhakti. The highest bhakti is defined as continuous service or emotions directed towards Krishna, his expansion forms or others related to him with a pleasing attitude towards Krishna. It should be devoid of desires other than the desire to please the Lord and unobstructed by impersonal jnana, the materialistic rituals of karma, or other unfavorable acts. So, this is definition. Of course, this is the translation of Sri Jiva Goswami. Let me also show the. So this is the Jiva Goswami's country. Yeah. Here he has taken it as continuous, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur doesn't use the word continuous. And Prabhupada also did not specify it as continuous. So why this definition is important? There is thorough analysis even Prabhupada does word by word. We will also study it. So this definition of Uttama Bhakti, because Uttama Bhakti only will give Krishna Prema. So Uttama Bhakti only it can take one till Prema. And only one reaches Prema, then only one is qualified to enter Goloka. So unless one performs Uttama Bhakti, one cannot enter Goloka. And this definition is not, it enables us to introspect and improve our practice of devotional service. It's not to discourage, and also to discern what is favorable and unfavorable for our spiritual advancement. Like if we know this, then we can also know who is practicing or who is endeavoring to practice pure devotional service. Then we can associate with them, take their help, etc. And now it is possible, like in the life of a practicing devotee, some acts may fall under Uttama Bhakti and some may not. Like uh, today, the chanting is done in very good consciousness, so it will fall and it can fall under Uttama Bhakti. Tomorrow, okay, the chanting is done in hurry and there is a lot of distraction, so it may not fall under Uttama Bhakti. So it's like that. I mean, for a practicing devotee, beginning devotee, it's like that. Not all activities of devotional service will fall under Uttama Bhakti. But in general, there is no standardized definition of who is a pure devotee. But in general, usage and all activities in the life of a pure devotee is Uttama Bhakti. He's like a 24 hours, he's practicing pure devotional service. So, yes, a particular devotional activity of a practicing devotee may not qualify as Uttama Bhakti, but it can be something else like Mishra Bhakti or Sukruti or something else. And it will be still pleasing to Krishna and Krishna reciprocates. It's not that unless you perform Uttama Bhakti only, then only Krishna reciprocates. But if you want prema from Krishna, then Krishna only gives prema to one who is performing Uttama Bhakti. So that is the importance of Uttama Bhakti. And in the definition, like each term Prabhupada is explaining. So first he's starting with the word Anushilana. Okay, read. You can read.
Generally, people are engaged in different activities to get some material profit, while most philosophers are engaged in proposing transcendental realization through volume of word jugglery and speculation. Pure devotional service must always be free from such fruitive activities and philosophical speculations. One has to learn Krishna consciousness or pure devotional service from the authorities by spontaneous loving service. The devotional service is a sort of cultivation. It is not simply inaction for people who like to be inactive or devote their time in silent meditation. There are many different methods for people who want this, but cultivation of Krishna consciousness is different. The particular word used by Srila Rupa Goswami in this connection is anusilana, or cultivation by following the predecessor
Teachers, acharyas.
teacher means acharya. As soon as we say cultivation, we must refer to activity. Without activity, consciousness alone cannot help us. All activities may be divided into two classes. One class may be for achieving a certain goal, and the other may be for avoiding some unfavorable circumstances. In Sanskrit, these activities are called uh, pra- pravritti and nivritti, positive and negative actions. There are many examples of negative actions. For instance, a diseased person have to be cautious and take medicine in order to avoid some unfavorable illness. Those who are cultivating spiritual life and executing devotional service are always engaged in activity. Such activity can be performed with the body or with the mind. Thinking, feeling, and willing are all these activities of the mind, and when we will to do something, the activity comes to be manifest by the gross bodily senses. Thus, in our mental activity, we should always try to think of Krishna and try to plan how to please him, following in the footsteps of great acharyas and personal spiritual master. There are activities of the body, activities of the mind, and activities of speech. A Krishna conscious person engages his words in preaching the glories of the Lord. This is called kirtan. And by his mind, a Krishna conscious person always think of the activities of the Lord. As he is speaking on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, or engaging in his various pastimes in Vrindavan and with his devotees. In this way, one can always think of the activities and pastimes of the Lord. This is the mental culture of Krishna consciousness. Similarly, we can refer many services with our bodily activities, but all such activities must be in relationship with Krishna. This relationship is established by connecting oneself with the bona fide spiritual master, who is the direct representative of Krishna in the disciplic succession. Therefore, the execution of Krishna consciousness activities within the body should be directed by the spiritual master and then performed with faith. The connection within the spiritual master is called initiation. From the date of initiation by the spiritual master, the connection between Krishna and a person cultivating Krishna consciousness is established. Without initiation by a bona fide spiritual master, the actual connection with Krishna consciousness is never performed.
Yeah, okay. So, Anushilanam, there are two types of bhakti. So, one is Cheshta Rupa Bhakti and another is Bhava Rupa Bhakti. Efforts, it's a sort of cultivation, it's an activity, it's not inactivity. And in this activities, so there are three ways the actions are performed: through body, through words, through mind. And again, Prabhupada also told pravritti and nivritti. So through body, so body we do physical services like doing services to the deities. All these are it falls under physical activities. Then words like preaching or offering prayers, singing in front of the Lord. These are all activities now. Now, we may not practice it consciously, these things. Like sometimes unconsciously it happens. Let's say uh, you participated in a very, very deep, absorbed, very nice kirtan, very devotional, very absorbing kirtan. So after you come from the kirtan also, the tune keeps ringing and the way the devotee sang and all. So you will automatically, hum it and sing it. So that is that remembrance, or like immediately after lecture you contemplate and all. So on the what you discussed in the lecture. So that is also that is in the mind. And in this pravritti is there, like nivritti also, like no, we are told not to uh, we are not to sit with back facing the devotee, with facing the deities. So that is like we should not do physically those actions. So that is nivritti. Words also, yeah, we should not criticize devotees through our words. So that is like a nivritti. Don't, but words, in words. And mind also, we should not think bad of any devotee or some things like that. So that is there. So this do's and don'ts. These we will study in the, I mean, this same kind of classification in detail. Yeah. Then there is Bhavarupa Bhakti. Bhavarupa Bhakti is feelings. Like in mind, the activities of mind mainly consists of meditation and remembrance. But feelings are a different feelings towards Krishna. That comes at prominently and very uh, properly at the stage of Bhava Bhakti. The proper feelings towards Krishna based on a particular attraction towards Krishna or a relationship towards Krishna. So that we'll study in Bhava Bhakti. So that is like Bhava Bhakti. So these are two types of bhakti. Okay, you can read this cultivation one.
This cultivation of Krishna consciousness is not material. The Lord has three general energies, namely the external energy, the internal energy, and the marginal energy. The living entities are called marginal energy. And the material cosmic manifestation in the action of the external or material energy. Then there is spiritual world, which is a manifestation of the internal energy. The living entities who are called marginal energy perform material activities when acting under the inferior external energy. And when they are engaged in activity under the interior spiritual energy, their activities are called Krishna consciousness. This means that those who are a great soul or great devotees do not act under the spell of material energy, but act instead under the protection of the spiritual energy. Any activities done in devotional service or in Krishna consciousness are directly under the control of spiritual energy. In other words, energy is a sort of strength, and this strength can be spiritualized by the mercy of both the bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. In
So
Chaitanya
bhakti,
Charitamrita,
wait. So these bhakti activities, they fall under the actor of internal energy of the Lord, not the external energy of the Lord. So yes, like tomorrow is Radhashmi. So uh, generally, Radharani is considered as the manifestation of the bhakti of the Lord, the internal energy of the Lord. And this bhakti energy, she only gives that bhakti to the devotees, even to the pure devotees. And when we hear from pure devotees, that energy flows into us, and slowly we will also start developing the devotional service. So that is there. So in that way, that energy flows ultimately from Radharani, and that is how the living entities become devotees. That we will also study in the Bhakti Sanjayate Bhakti, that thing we will study. Okay. Yes.
in the Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Lord Chaitanya state that it is a fortunate person who comes in contact with the bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. One who is serious about spiritual life is given by Krishna the intelligence to come in contact with bona fide spiritual master, and then by grace of spiritual master, one becomes advanced in Krishna consciousness. In this way, the whole jurisdiction of Krishna consciousness is directly under the spiritual energy, Krishna and the spiritual master. This has nothing to do with the material world. When we speak of Krishna, we refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead along with his many expansions. He is expanded by his plenary part and parcel, his differentiated part and parcel, and his different energies. Krishna, in the other words, means everything and includes everything. Generally, however, we should understand Krishna to mean Krishna and his personal expansions. Krishna expand himself as Baldev, Sankarshan, Vasudev, Anirudh, Pradyuman, Rama, Narsimha, and Vara, as well as many other incarnations and innumerable Vishnu expansions. These are described in Srimad Bhagavatam to be numerous as the uncountable waves. So Krishna include all such expansions as well as his pure devotees. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that Krishna's expansions are all complete in eternity, blissfulness, and cognizance.
Yeah. Okay. So now the object of Anushilanam. Prabhupada told Krishna and Krishna's expansions. So that is there, and of course, our acharyas, they also say that Krishna's devotees and Krishna's paraphernalia. These two also come in the in that. So if we are let's say celebrating Balram Purnima, and no, we are offering Abhishek to Balramji and all. So that is also Uttama Bhakti only, because Balramji is Krishna's expansion, and if you are doing it with that knowledge and consciousness, then that is fine. Or we are doing Abhishek for Narasimhadev, that is all fine. Or Lord Ram. on that, so that is also fine. Then Krishna's devotees, like if somebody is doing, if you are offering puja to Prabhupada, Guru Puja every day, or no, Vyas Puja, one offers puja to his spiritual master. So that is also, if one is doing it with the consciousness that he is a Krishna's devotee and all, and so then that will fall under Uttama Bhakti only, Krishna's devotees. And Krishna's paraphernalia. Let's say we are worshipping Govardhan. Govardhan is Krishna also considered Krishna, but Dham, let's say as soon as we enter Vrindavan, we offer obeisances to Dham. So that is also uh, uh, Uttama Bhakti only. Let's say, but an outsider is there, is appreciating a devotee for his material qualification. So that will not come under Uttama Bhakti. There is Anushilanam in terms of there is interaction with the devotee, I mean glorification towards a devotee. But it is not done with the consciousness that of that he is a devotee, of Krishna. I can please Krishna will be happy if I glorify him. That consciousness is not there. So that's why it will not fall under Uttama Bhakti. But it will create some Sukruti that we'll discuss later. But yeah, so that is there. Okay, so we have discussed only the first Anushilanam part, but other things we'll discuss in the next class. Some, yeah, five, 6 things are there of this shloka. So then we will discuss them in the next class. Any questions on what we discussed till now, or especially on this? Okay, so there are no questions. Then we will.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Yes,
what is
Mata.
pravritti and nivritti?
Yeah, pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti means do's and nivritti means don'ts. Like you are told to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the names of Lord. That is a do. Don't is what? You should not blaspheme devotees. That's don't. So that is nivritti. It's like that. It's clear? Do's and don'ts. That's
Yes, Prabhuji. That pravartanat is same to pravritti and nivritti.
Tat pravartanat.
Uh,
In
the
NO
shlok.
it is there.
Yes, in NI there is a shlok. So it also speaks about the regulative principles.
Yes. In that context, it is correct.
So it is same because it speaks about both the things, do's and don'ts.
Yes. Now also you'll study 64 regulative principles, do's and don'ts. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So yeah. So since this is the last unit of Bhakti Shastri. So please, whatever is pending for you, so please complete. And once the course is over, so the impetus to complete the pending things will not be much there. And so please complete, otherwise it will only become troublesome for you. Let's say you have to get second initiation and you need Bhakti Shastri certificate. So it will create problem for both. For BVRB also to do it at a very ad hoc time and all. So please complete. Okay, and okay, so we will meet in the next. Tomorrow is holiday, and yeah, please also complete your OBA by Wednesday. You can submit your OBA of NOI. Okay, so thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami ki jai, Shri Rupa Bhakti Samrat Singh ki jai. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.